this is Cheryl from California. Welcome to Lesson 31 of University of Success by Og Mandino. This is the Lesson 31 actually starts the 7th semester or the 7th week of the course, and the whole theme for this whole week will be nothing will make us so charitable and tender to the faults of others as by self-examination thoroughly to know our own, by Francois de Espinelon. Lesson 31 has been written by Dale Carnegie, and a little excerpt from his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And the quote for today is, criticism of others is futile, and if you indulge in it often, you should be warned that it can be fatal to your career. Very interesting lesson for today. Talks about Two Gun Crowley. He was a killer, and it was said that he will kill by the commissioner at the drop of a feather. And Crowley was in a very big gunfight back in 1931 with the New York Police Department, where he had over 150 policemen and detectives just firing, and he was just behind a big chair, keep firing. And while he was there, he wrote a little note, because he didn't know if he was going to make it through, but the whole gunfight. He said, "To whom it may concern, under my coat is a wary heart, but a kind one, that would do nobody any harm." Now, this was a short while after he was making out with his girlfriend in a tunnel in Long Island, and a country road on Long Island, and the police came up and asked if he could see his driver's license, and without hesitation he took out his gun and shot the policeman. And then after he had shot him, he got out of the car and he took the policeman's revolver and shot him again. And this is the same person who made that statement. So when he was sentenced to the electric chair soon after, this is what he said: "This is what I get for defending myself. Not, I'm sorry that I had to kill people, but this is what I get for defending myself." So I thought that was pretty interesting. So it's how you look at just different things. Now, getting into criticism. Now, criticism is something that is very dangerous and can be very detrimental. And Lincoln learned this very young in his career. He was actually he used to write a lot of letters, and would just tell people what he felt, how he felt. And while he was doing this, at one point he had wrote something about Irishmen, and his name was James Shields, and that was in 1842. Now, Shields was very, very upset about what Mr. Lincoln wrote, and he offered to have a duel with him. So, as a result of the duel, Lincoln chose to, to get sabers, because he had long arms, so he figured he would have a better chance. And just before they were getting ready to fight, which was a duel to the death, then the seconds, or the people who were, they really realized that they were going to go through it, they stopped it. And after that, Lincoln never again criticized or wrote any, letters or anything of criticism to anyone. So on the day of his death, they were saying, there goes a really great man, when Abraham Lincoln, because he had learned his lesson and learned not to criticize. So, I think what's really fitting was a little something that was written at the end of the lesson. It says, when dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We're dealing with creatures of emotion, creatures bristling with prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity. And criticism is a dangerous spark, a spark that is liable to cause an explosion in the powder magazine of pride, an explosion that sometimes hastens death. So, instead of condemning people, let's try to understand them. Let's try to figure out why they do what they do. That's a lot more profitable and intriguing than criticism, and it breeds sympathy, tolerance, and kindness. To know all is to forgive all. So I'd like to end on that quote. And that quote was actually given by, I think, Thomas Carlyle. And for the close of lesson 31 of Abendino's book. So whatever you do, try not to criticize. Try to be understanding. And try not to kill your success by criticizing others. Now, if you'd like to move on and get your success, then click on the link below. And I will join you for lesson 32. Now, take care and you have a wonderful evening.